Hey guys, welcome back to a long video after a long time. I'm not making long videos, but I have to make this video with just 3 to 4 days to go for the Premier League season to start. We need to talk about what Chelsea's situation is, where will Chelsea finish, or where ideally Chelsea could finish. Obviously, I feel Chelsea could win the Premier League, but we're going to talk a little bit about that. That's why it's a longer version of the video. So let's start with that. So this season could be a replica of what happened like 10 years ago, 10 seasons ago, under Antonio Conte. If you remember that season 10 seasons ago, and many Chelsea fans might not have witnessed that season or might have just heard about it, so they are being a little naive that history can repeat itself. But I know lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, so we never know what's going to happen. But I have seen that season. I remember meeting a British girl who was a Liverpool fan, and that was the day after Chelsea was beaten by Liverpool 1 goal to nil, if I remember that scoreline, 10 seasons ago. And she was mocking me kind of and saying that, hey, your Chelsea team is going down. And after that, we went on to win 13 matches on the trot, and we went on to win the league. So what I'm trying to say is that at this moment it looks like we might struggle. We have a different manager. We don't have Antonio Conte. Conte was like over the top. He's always jumping. He's always enjoying. He's always going. Very passionate guy. Xabi Alonso is very grounded and is very cool. He's the ultra cool guy. He's never hardly have seen him showing emotions. Obviously, no emotions like Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte as yet. Maybe as the season progresses, we might see a little different Xabi Alonso. We'll wait and watch on that. But personally, I feel that this season is a lot like that season 10 seasons ago. We finished 10th the prior season, just like last season we did. We have bought a couple of players, just like this season, and with one match a week. And this is what I want to say. I don't want to repeat this sentence throughout the video, but I just want to say this: one match a week really, really helps. It's like Manchester United last season, the second half under Carrick. They wanted to win matches, and there were matches we were expecting them not to win, and they went on to win those matches, and they finished third. And this is something bizarre, but obviously that is the reason why a lot of Chelsea fans think that Chelsea might end up second, third, fourth with around 80 odd points. And but then if you look at Manchester United last season under Carrick, especially, it's he took over only the second half. He got the whole season, could have been a little more different. Not that I'm expecting I know one United to win any title anytime soon. But anyways, let's get back to Xabi Alonso and Chelsea, and where I think that he gets the full season and the new team that he has created. And if we have our senior players staying, obviously Kukurea has left, but there's still an ongoing thing going with Enzo Fernandez. But in case he stays, we have good number of players. In case Pedro Neto, who I think should also stay back, there is a good chance we can reach the real higher summit. I still believe Arsenal is the team to beat, and but Arsenal being a big club for over 120 odd years of history, they've never won the European trophy, the men's team that is. So it will be very tough for them to not think about that, to just concentrate on the Premier League, because they have won the Premier League before. They have won the Premier League after 22 years last season. They need to actually show that they can actually win the European Cup. They have been the better team in the Champions League for the last couple of seasons, but yet they have not been able to win it. They got beat by PSG. This season they will have Real Madrid and Barcelona, who have actually made some decent squad. They have purchased some decent players. So the question now arises that how will Arsenal take it? Arsenal's got some good bunch of players, and maybe even they have players who are winning, a good bench squad, I mean to say. So a lot like what Chelsea was some 15, 20 years ago, that even uh, we had a bad season, we'll still finish third or fourth max. But then, if this season Arsenal finishes anything below first, that means some other team is going to take over as the number one team. I, for one, believe that that team can realistically be Chelsea, and on the other end, it could also be Spurs. But I don't think Spurs are going to get there. Personally, I don't think that's going to happen. But there is a chance the way Spurs have gone ahead and purchase some players. I mean, that's something incredible. They're trying to create something, but then they also went ahead and sold players like Spence, which is kind of questionable. Why did they do that? They need some good players, and that's the reason why I feel that Chelsea should not said whatever the offer is, sell players like Neto and Enzo, at least hold them for this season. And depending on what happens on this season, when we go ahead and maybe obviously go ahead and not finish in the top four, then obviously these players are not going to stick around. But there is a good chance that we might do better. And if we do better, these guys might not want to move on to a different club, might be staying with Chelsea. We'll wait and watch for that for next summer. But for right now, I feel that Chelsea has a very good chance finishing. Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, Man City, all of them are playing in the Champions League. They need to play 2 matches a week. They need to concentrate their players in both the sides. It's not going to be easy for them. If you look at Manchester City, they are already having a lot of tough times with Maresca. I know Maresca might be a very good coach. He is not a Pep. He will not be able to do what Pep did with Man City. Man City is obviously going to go through some rough ties. Again, another reason why I feel that Man City will struggle to win the league. They might still finish in the top four. They might still have periods of times when they will be really good and people will say, whoa, what a great manager Maresca is. But eventually, they've already lost Rodri, which certainly means that he doesn't believe in whatever is going at Man City right now. Haaland will be next. There are players who are willing to leave that club, which shows that there are more than one player who's wanting to go. Of a similar thing to Chelsea, but Chelsea needs to hold on to the players because of that one thing. We can win it all the way. Where I have the questions with the Chelsea team is the defense and goalkeeper. I still believe we need to do something with the goalkeeping thing. You really cannot trust Sanchez to do everything for Chelsea, and Penders might be just too young to do anything. I feel that we needed to get a good goalkeeper. If Xabi has come out and said that he's okay with Sanchez, then we have to go with that. But I think this is where the whole thing might go down for Chelsea. Another thing is defense. I think we are one defender short. Now you can obviously guys that we have again the 1 match a week thing, but all our three main defenders are injury prone. Whether it's Lacroix who comes from Crystal Palace, he has his injuries there. Levi Colvin had a lengthy injury last season. And Fofana, we all know that he has his injury issues every season. Plus, he has an attitude problem as well. Now, that remains that you have players like Hato, Anchiampong, Anselmino are the kind of players that you have to now believe that they can step up. Now, this is the season where you will want these guys to step up. It's easier said than done. They are still very young. Sard is one of the other guys, but he's been talked about that he might leave. But now with all these guys, will they be able to step up, or we actually need? I will personally would have loved someone like John Stones to come to Chelsea, but that didn't happen. He went to Inter, or someone like Anthony Rudiger, but he signed an extension to his Real Madrid contract. So this defense and the goalkeeping thing is what will be the key thing for Chelsea. I need We need to really see that if they can hold on to this, because our midfield is one of the strongest, not just in England but in Europe. If you just look at our midfield, if you can hold on to Enzo, you have Caicedo, we have Enzo, we got Lavia, and if Lavia can stay fit, he doesn't need to play 90 minutes because we're just playing 1 match a week. So we have Caicedo, Enzo playing main, and maybe Lavia comes in, plays half an hour, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, but he can be really good when he comes in. As and when, even if he starts and plays, I don't think he will necessarily play 90 minutes. And you got Reece James also, he can play in both the sides. Reece's injuries or Reece's the way fitness can prompt him to play in the midfield more than playing in his favorite position. That is his side is Valentino Barco. He's very young. He might be very young to play in the Premier League, but he will get his chances. Another very highly technical player. I know many people actually have not seen Barco, so they only have seen him against Jude Bellingham in that World Cup semi-final, so they might be a little upset. But he is a real deal actually, but very young. So obviously, Xabi will see how he can bring him to the matches. And but we have a really strong midfield. Our midfield we should be proud of if we can hold on to Enzo especially. And then we got our front line with Rodgers, the newcomer, Cole Palmer, Este-wow, and Joao Pedro. They have a point to prove. Most of these players will have a point to prove. Joao Pedro was omitted from Brazil, Cole Palmer from England, Este-wow was injured, he could not play in the World Cup. So these guys will really want to full on. As I said, if we can make things happening as the mid-table sides in the Premier League, Chelsea has a realistic chance. Obviously, at the start of the season right now, we still believe Chelsea can finish in the top four, but first, but I feel Arsenal will be more concentrating on the Champions League. Man City will have their troubles. Man United will be in a lot of soup. I feel Liverpool has their issues too, and it will not be easy. That actually opens the doors for Chelsea and Spurs in realistic because Spurs have a very good manager. RDZ is a very good manager, and he has got some really good players out there. Tonali, Fernandes, and a few others. A good number of defenders. They're still signing Savinho, I think Marmoush. These both the guys from Manchester City. If that happens, they're actually trying to build a winning squad there as well. I feel that both Chelsea and Spurs have a great chance. I don't want to talk about Spurs at all, but yeah, both these sides have a really good chance. Things have to work in place. Xavi needs to not be naive here. He cannot think that this is our first season. Just similar what Maresca said a couple of seasons ago. We need to go out there, win. The mid-table matches are where we have to win those matches. If we can win matches against the 8th to the 20th, the teams which are ideally in that situation, at that position, home and away, there's a very good chance we'll end up with 85 points at least, even if we draw a couple of matches here and there. And from 1 to 7, we being one of those teams, uh, we will have our edges if we can start winning those matches. Obviously, easier said than done, but I feel there's a realistic chance with the likes of Rodgers, Palestra, Pep Xavi. As I was saying, realistically, this is very much possible for Chelsea to go all the way and win it. Those who have not seen that, those who have not seen the last 10 years ago what happened, but if you realize that Chelsea, the life expectancy of a manager is not more than 3 years over the last 30 years. So if you're expecting Xabi is going to stay here like we had thought of Jose Mourinho or someone like Thomas Tuchel to stay here, we know how and what happened actually. So if you're expecting Xabi is going to first this season we are going to take the top three maybe, and next season we come, it's only from the second seasons when things start getting really tough for Chelsea managers. So don't expect that Xabi is going to have a longer time at Chelsea. So this season is where you hit the nail, make it happen. From next season, who knows what's going to happen next season. So that's what I feel, that this is our best chance to win the Premier League. Next season, we don't know what, how the drama at Chelsea happens. Even before, even when Roman Abramovich was there used to be drama all over. It's not like only under Blue Corp that we have drama going on. So I feel, number one, is very much possible for Chelsea. What you guys think, let me know in the comment section. Do you really think the defense is going to be a challenging, or you think some other places or some other players could be a problem? Let me know. See you guys in a different video. Bye bye.